6 players remain, and Hung Luke is looking them over.
He's an interesting guy, Hung. He's from Ealing in London. He's a compliance analyst in the city. And apparently that means that what he does is supervises traders at work to make sure that we don't get a fiasco of a crash from another big bank or something. Must be a very interesting job. He's mixing it up here, and he wants to see if he's got respect on the table, and which is going to help him later on.
Show it!
That's one cool customer, isn't it?
I'll tell you. You know, there's a bunch of these young Scandinavians who play online who are fond of that under-the-gun 6-4 suited move, and Hung Luke is well in that style. They're all very successful.
If only.
Oh, 75 in the pot, and Hung Luke's eyes on Sean Ridge under the gun.
Well,
he's a good watcher. And there's been a double the bet now from Sean.
Raise to 100.
Sorry.
The electroplater from Hertfordshire. And we've got a pot brewing here. 2 nines, Queen King, premium cards out there.
Yeah.
I think Alison
Pass.
Cheeseman has quickly called as well. We haven't seen her do too much calling before the flop.
She'll be calling because she's in position.
Pass. Thank you.
It'll be 3-way here.
Thank you.
Blind's not interested. And action will be on Sean with the 2 nines. He's missed the flop, but may have the best hand.
100.
100. Pass. Pass. Pass.
Good strong play by Sean to keep betting, representing the ace, huh?
Yeah, well, interesting. He was the first player there to only double the blind, and of course, when the aces come out and he's come out betting, they've got to assume he's got an ace.
So Sean Ridge from Letchworth regaining his chips, and that'll put him up just about to even again, which is a good place to be in this game. Chris Higgins,
Call.
big arms and a called bet, calling for 50. Blinds are 25 and 50 here. And is that a bit of a crack in Chris's arm, or is he getting impatient? Queen 8 up front.
Well, that's certainly not a hand that you should be playing at this stage of the tournament. And I don't know what he's hoping to hit with that.
Simon carefully calculating with his sixes.
Raise
He
to
decides
200.
the raise is the right play. 50 plus 150. That'll be oh, yeah, here's something.
I'll raise to 5.
Raise to 500.
Oh, what is Hung sense that he's got the best hand very quickly. That's a big bet. And is it going to take the pot?
He's playing with tremendous experience here, Hung. Some players would have just flat called in position on the button, but because there was an early limper and Simon's raised, he's decided to find out how strong his hand is, and he's re-raised. And Simon could be making a really bad call here. Let's see the flop.
2 players.
Simon might not know where he's at. Pair on the board. Simon might think his under pair is good. This could skyball.
Check.
I'll raise another 5.
500.
Hung betting that quick as a cat. How do you like your sixes now?
Problem here for Simon is if Hung did have ace king of diamonds, for example, he's hit a monster flop. But I think he bet that a little bit too quickly. It might allow Simon to get away from it. Hung sat there like a statue.
Yeah, Simon's counting down his chips. He's trying to figure out how much this will cost him. Basically, it could cost him the whole tournament if he goes any deeper.
Yeah, he should think back to the pre-flop action. The fact that Chris limped in and Simon then raised, the fact that he was then re-raised, and he's made a good lay down here. He's thought it through and he's realised that he must be beat.
And I think Hung's turned over the hand. He's shown him the 2 jacks, and Simon will know that he's made a good fold. Both players had two pairs. Simon held 10s and 6s, but Hung held jacks up, and the higher pair means Hung wins the pot. So descending through the golden lights, and Hung Luke has jumped out to a chip lead on the strength of some big re-raises. But this is Allison under
Raised
the
to
gun.
200. Pass.
Well, she's got the right hand here, ace king offsuit, early positions, make a standard 4 times big blind. Hung's got a nice hand here, he could see a flop here for 200.
Got plenty of chips too. How much respect does he have for Allison's raise?
Well, sometimes players like to play momentum. You know, he's won a couple of pots early, and he might want to see a flop here.
Odds call.
Call.
Exactly
Pass.
what he's done.
Pass.
And it'll be 150 on Chris Higgins.
Pass.
And Chris has made a good lay down there. He doesn't want to get involved. He's in the big blind. He's out of position with these two players.
So Allison
Two
taking
players.
off a flop as the raiser. It's come bitty bitty bit.
300.
It hasn't scared her.
Pass.
Well, look at that. That's Alison showing experience there. She's immediately represented an overpair. Obviously, she had a draw to straight anyway, 2 overs, but she's played that perfect, and Hung very quickly passed.
So Allison from Milton Keynes showing a bit of the cannon fire there.
Pass.
The button is on Gordon. He's in the best position on the table because everybody has to act before it gets to him.
Game on here, and it's Hung's time to play, but he was watching Sean look at his cards for quite a while before he even looked, gauging interest. Jack 8 suited,
Raised to 300.
and boy, does Hung mean to roll over this
Pass.
game.
I think he's certainly trying to. I mean, that's a big raise. He's making a raise that doesn't want to be called.
Allison's got Hung strangled, but no way of knowing it. They'll give him another 75 pounds in his craw. How are they going to stop this player?
Well, let me tell you, Jesse, the way he's playing at the moment, as the blinds increase, he could completely dominate this heat.
That's how it works. It's a much harder game to play, I find, because online you're behind a screen. You can run around like an idiot when you've hit high cards and start screaming at the screen and asking people to raise you and everything, whereas if you're actually on the table you have to control yourself, and that's the hardest part of it, where you have to keep your face still.
For more information on the next series of Late Night Poker Ace, visit the Channel 4 website at www.channel4.com/poker.
Pass.
Pass.
50 pounds
Pass.
is the bet around.
Pass.
And the
Pass.
thick sunglasses of Chris Higgins laying the cards down. Blind on blind. Simon has gotten hammered from this position by Hung Luke.
Call.
This time he's just calling.
Check.
Check. Thank you.
These boys playing a flop for 100 pounds.
2 players.
They've both got a little something here, Simon.
Yeah, well, Hung's got the flush draw.
Second pair for Simon. He'll have to be wary about bluffing.
100.
Not only does Hung have more chips, but he seems to have had a good measure of Simon tonight.
I noticed that when Simon just limped in, he shot a quick glance across
Pass.
Pass.
to Hung as if to say, "Are you going to raise me?"
Well, it's not a huge pop, but huge for Simon's confidence, I think. He finally took one off his nemesis.
Yeah, they all count, even if they're 125s, 175, anything that keeps you in the game.
Call.
Call.
Gordon first to speak,
Pass.
and he has
Pass.
just called.